Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I completed 9 levels by using the random level option. So in this part, as I've repeatedly promised, I'll be covering a whole bunch of viewer submitted levels. So I'll be trying at least 5 or 6 of them, and if I can't get to all of them, then the other ones will be listed or played the first in the next part. And as usual, if you want one of your levels to be played in a future part, please leave the ID or name of the level in a comment below or direct message me on Twitter. So let's start out with this one. I selected a whole bunch of viewer submitted levels and I've randomly ordered them so to prevent some bias. So let's begin with this one. Assault on the Dreadnought Pt1, not for beginners. Created by Xujints, 7 plays and a score of 3. Yeah, he did warn me that this stage is definitely not suited for beginner Mega Man players, but thankfully I'm not a beginner. I think I'm pretty good enough. I just hope it's not too difficult though. Okay, we only have access. All of our weapons are limited essentially. We're forced to use the rush shit here, I suppose. That's good to know. To be a big. Oh no, that was a bit. Thankfully I'll never get knocked off Rush Jet, so I don't have too much to worry about. So for the first part of the stage we have a more difficult version of that shmup level from Type QQ. We just need to be careful that we don't run out of Rush Jet energy though. Or die from taking too much damage. Or hit a wall or something. So it's basically a more difficult shmup level like I requested. Pretty nice. Oh no, Ben Qs. Which I can just fly right over. Oh. What happened there? Oh, I think I ran out of Rush Jet energy. Let me retry this when I have full Rush Jet energy. And let me try doing this more competently. Well, I asked for a more difficult shmup level and I got it, so I'm not complaining too much. Can I circumvent the challenge entirely by doing it this way? I suppose I can, but the only problem is I need more Rush Jet energy. Otherwise, I'll just fall to my death again. So I gotta be a bit on my... I need to be on my A game just in case that the Rush Jet decides to dissipate at the wrong time. Oh, I see what happened. Yeah, I ran out of Rush Jet energy at the wrong moment. Jump! Yeah, I needed to jump over there, otherwise I wouldn't make it. I should have picked up the other large life energy, or weapon energy. Okay, we need to go into the water segment. Probably should be a checkpoint here. So we need to be careful because we're completely limited by our weapon energy. Although, as long as I don't use Rush Jet, I can always use my Mega Buster that way. So there's that. I gotta be a little bit careful. Oh, wow. Well, at least the checkpoint is right over there. So let's get out of here and move to the left side of the screen. Oh, another Rush Jet segment, I see. Oh no, never mind, it's my dad again, because, well, I accidentally moved too far to the left. Immediately slide to the left. I'm gonna wait for that footholder to come back, then I'll move on. Well, at least I have the Mega Buster here, but it's limited, so I gotta be careful. I gotta make every shot count. I'm not sure why we have the third foothold over there. Oops. Damage boosting. Oh, whoa. Well, I don't know why we need that earlier checkpoint up there, but I suppose it's for more jittery players. At least there's a checkpoint right over here. We just need to rush. I realize I probably want to restore all my Rush Jet energy first before I move on forward. And just like most of the other previous parts, if I repeatedly die over and over, I'll cut off some of the failures. Or use jump cutting. Oh, over there it said I was out of... That's strange. Over there in the menu it said I was completely out of Mega Buster energy, but in reality, I had a bunch left. That's very strange. I see what they want me to do here, I think. I'll just use this as a back... Oh no. Okay, this is a lot harder than it looked. What I needed to do there is jump onto the footholder as quickly as possible, destroy the Crystal Joe, and hit that party ball. And that's it for Assault on the Dreadnought Part 1. It certainly wasn't for beginners, but it wasn't as difficult as I was worried about. In fact, let me do Part 2 about this. He did mention though that... Oh wait, I forgot to thumbs up the previous level, hold on. There we go. Well, actually I did. It was a pretty nice stage, well thought out. I liked the more difficult shmup segment compared to the original one, although it wasn't too bad, especially due to this engine's more powerful rush shit. And I liked how we went first on the shmup, then we entered the waterway, then we entered the footholder segment, and then we had the quick bomb segment. And I really liked the checkpoint placement, and I felt it was more appropriate for this more difficult stage, or rather, more difficult in terms of instant death being everywhere. I know he did mention that they did mention that this level was a bit more less well received compared to the previous one due to less usage on gimmicks. If there's one thing I want to mention about the previous stage, well, it's designed more like a fortress style level, so I won't complain about the gimmick usage being too bad. If there's one thing I would like to complain about, it's just that some of the challenges are a little bit too much of a gotcha moment, personally speaking. Otherwise, I don't mind the stage too much. So let's see what Part 2 does. Okay, we don't have a shmup segment yet. Okay, we have force beams at the bottom though. I'm just gonna circumvent the challenge and go under everything. Never mind, it wasn't really much of a challenge there. And because these are designed more as fortress-like levels, I won't fault the developer or designer for having forced weapon usage. From what I've learned from many Mega Man fan games, and especially fan-made levels, always check the other directions just to make sure if there are any extra goodies. Oh no. Well, that wasn't instant death as I thought it would be. Oh no, that isn't a good sign. I really need some extra rush energy. Thankfully there's a lot of tellies here which I can just spam which I can just button mash in order to get across. Okay, let's try getting across here. After all, at the bottom there's just force beam death. This is also one of those locations where I really wish I had what is that called? The energy balancer. Well, at least there's a checkpoint right over there, so I won't complain too much. Can I get across by just using the rush coil? Yes, I can. That was kind of a jerk move over there. Especially because there was the bottomless pit. Oh well, at least we can restore our rush energy. There probably should have been a block over there so to prevent you from falling to your death. Let's do this correctly this time. Again, oh, you're supposed to use rush in order to get across. Never mind, it's forced. At least there's a checkpoint over here, otherwise I'd be complaining a lot more about unfairness. Let me just kill off the Ben K. I didn't realize that if you're on rush it when you enter a room with a boss, you'll continue to move. Gotta be careful so I don't accidentally destroy the dust platforms at the bottom. Well, this was certainly a little bit more difficult than the previous boss fight, but it was a nice unique gimmick. It's more like destroying the core rather than anything else. Well, in terms of level layout or level design, I kind of liked Part 1 a bit more due to its gimmick usage, especially the shmup segment with rush shit. Here was a little bit easier, but I don't think it deserves a negative score. It was pretty nice, but it feels like it's a little bit middling compared to Part 1. I would like to eventually see a Part 3 of this taken further. So good job, Xujints. Third level on the lineup is Most Random Level in Mega Man History for Now, by my longtime viewer and commenter Megaman 2407. 15 plays and a score 0. I've heard about this level a bunch in the previous parts when they commented about it, so I wonder how random it's going to be. I kind of forgot to mention in an earlier part how there's another level type in the game. I've already talked about challenge levels, Kaizo levels, whatever else, but I forgot to mention we also have stuff like random levels like this one, so let's see what it has to offer. Well, it definitely looks like it's a random mess of things. I'm gonna try going left and dying immediately. Well, it's certainly a random mess of a level. I'm gonna try going right this time. Probably the part with less spikes. How did I glitch? Okay then, I don't know how I just glitched right through the conveyor belt over there. Of course, the replacement is going to be unfair because everything's random. I accidentally held on to the jump button there. There are going to be a lot of deaths in this level. I'm almost 100% sure about it. Let's go up here and... Well... Okay, I'm not going up there then. Spikes everywhere. Oh no. Okay then, I didn't expect one of the level endpoints to be there. I suppose this level will have multiple exits. As I know in a previous part, or previous parts, they did mention that their levels do have multiple exits, or a lot of secrets that have been missing. So eventually when I do get to a revisiting level part, I will do that. I really wish I had any tank here. Again, how did I clip through the conveyor belt over there? Let's take the other route this time. Again, I didn't see the spike, I got distracted by all the enemies. Perhaps I should just use the firestorm more. This time, hope I don't clip through everything. Spike hitboxes. Oh no. Never mind. Do I have the magnet missile? No, so I'll have to go down the classic way. Oh no, I don't. That would make this segment so much easier. I need some help. Oh no, I'm not going that direction. Really wish I had the Mega Buster here. Would be really helpful. Oh. Kaizo trap. Well, this is my first occurrence of the Kaizo trap, that's for sure. Well, I don't think I'll be going more to the right. So let me try going to the left instead. And immediately get hit by every single thing possible. Okay, let's try doing this. Let's not try doing this then. Darn, I thought there was an enemy down there. It vanished. Where are you? I'm gonna try this level 2 or 3 more times, then I'll exit out and try Mega Man 2407's next level to keep things going. But to be fair, I will actually go to the editor just to see how the level looks. I was running to the left and I was hitting against an invisible wall. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Right into the wall. Well, I guess that's where the other exits are. I'm gonna try one more time and see if I can actually reach that area. Assuming I don't get hit by everything imaginable. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, got it. I had only one hit available, but I somehow passed through and hit the checkpoint over there, or level end stage, and noticed it on the top as well. Okay, then let me download it and see how it actually looks in the editor. Again, it's a little bit confusing which part of the menu you're on. I wish there was an icon or something on the top to showcase it. Okay, let's see what's up with this level. Why is there no music here? Okay, that's why. Okay, we already saw what's on the left there. All the madness of items. Over here, oh, there's... Wow. This level's a lot bigger than I expected it to be. Oh, I see here. If you somehow clip through all these blocks, you could fall in here and then continue on to the next part of the stage. Yeah, I'm not really experienced with all of the minutiae of glitches and oversights in this engine. Wow, I didn't know the level actually extends this far. If there's another thing I would like of the engine to eventually add, it would be a minimap for the levels, especially bigger ones like this one. That way you can get across more easily. At least something can open up on the top right. Wow, yeah, this stage is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. I already went through this crazy maze over there. This is the Kaizo block. This teleports me somewhere over there. I already went through this segment. Oh, I see. I was supposed to damage boost over here so I can get across to this room filled with spikes. You know what? Let me do this over here. I'm gonna place Megaman over here and actually try going through that part. After all, I completely overlooked it. And there's a checkpoint right over here. Yeah, that was a Kaizo trap too. This is both a random level and a Kaizo trap level. Wonderful. Oh, I see there's an M-tank there. Every single type of spikes, every single type of enemy. We're getting... Oh, didn't I just... Well, why isn't the start... Oh, the start button froze even though I was getting hit by every single thing possible. And I'm just gonna skip the boss fight and run to the right. Maple Man will kill himself, and I will double complete the stage. And so I get 2 victory teams. If I didn't complete the boss that fast, I would have gotten telefrag there. Is there anything up here? Yes, I'm not sure how you're supposed to access it. Oh. I see. At least I think I see there's all sorts of force beams and stuff over here. You can turn on and off the grid for easy use. That was added in version 1.0.4. All sorts of enemies here. Yeah, there are a lot of secrets you can go through here, or a lot of extra stuff, if you're really into that, especially if you use the rush jet. Like, as another demonstration of how to complete the stage, I'm gonna place Mega Man up over here. Summon rush jet over here. I can't move across for some reason. Let me see if I can actually make it this time. Yeah, I don't know why I can't make it across. I guess the level segments are not connected or something. But there's a lot to explore about this level, and, well, The thing is though, I don't really like the random levels as much. They don't really appeal to me, especially ones like this. I prefer more coherent ones, but I suppose for what it is, it mixes and matches a lot of different enemies to get mixed into a whole slurry or something. And there are a lot of level exits that you can take if you really want to, so I suppose for those who are into it, they'll like it. Speaking of Kaizo levels, it's time for my 4th level on this lineup. Kaizo level normal, update version 2, also by Megaman 2407. 16 plays and a score of 0. Now I know there's an original version, aka version 1, but I'll do the updated version to see what it has to offer. This will be officially my first Kaizo level. Or rather, my second Kaizo level I experienced if we count the random level before, but that's more of a random mess. Let's see what this Kaizo level has to offer. Okay, we immediately start by fighting Cutman, who's immune to everything I have. Oh wait, well never, he isn't. I'm gonna try defeating Cutman first before doing the level the legitimate way. And die first. Because I got stuck. Okay, he can walk right over the spikes, never mind. Let me try defeating Cutman first, and then I'll try doing the stage the normal way. I suppose the actual way the developer intended. Still, Cutman's pattern is very annoying to deal with though. Especially when he decides to throw the rolling cutter. Oh, I thought I could make that jump. I'm just gonna restart the stage just to be sure I have enough weapon energy though. Before that, let me test and see what is his weakness. Oh, it might as well be the shine. I'm just gonna use the shine. That way I can always just I can permanently lock Cutman into this pattern. Wow, the shine really destroys Cutman. I suppose making the shine Cutman's strength or immunity would have been a better idea. Well, that's the first way of completing this Kaizo level. I'm going to do it the other way now. I suppose what I mean by other way, the way you're supposed to do by damage boosting. We have all sorts of special weapons, so I suppose this should make it a little bit easier. Please damage me. Thank you very much. Of course, this is where things are going to be a little bit more problematic, because of all the enemies who are trying to kill me everywhere. Oh, come on, the footholder decided to move down. Okay, wait. Okay. Let's use the tank immediately. I'm just gonna deflect all my shots. Almost get killed there. I'll take a hit over there, oh goodness. Thank you for putting a checkpoint here. It's not so much of a Kaizo level right now, it's more of a challenge level. But that'll soon change, I suppose. Thankfully, Cutman is stuck wherever. I hear force beams getting fired off. That does not inspire me with confidence at all. I'm gonna take the upper route, so I don't die instantly to whatever. Oh, also I do have the NATO, so I can jump higher if I really just want to. Okay. I'm not fooling around. Time to set out the big guns. There we go. All those force beam sound effects are not inspiring me with confidence. And I completely failed that jump. I saw what you wanted me to do there. Or try to do there. Ow. I didn't expect there to be all those Yoku blocks. I'm certainly liking this stage more than the previous one. Oh, and we don't have the boss fight now. That's a bit odd. Time to activate the shine. Let's see. Crash Bomber is probably a better option. Oh no. NATO, where are you? Okay, there. Let's see if I can do this properly. The double jump, that is. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, there's a checkpoint right over here and a whole bunch of enemies spam. And I clipped through the wall there. Well, at least there's a checkpoint there, so I'm not complaining too much. What I am complaining about is getting hit by that enemy immediately. Then again, this is a Kaizo level, so it's kind of be expected to suddenly be hit by enemies. Well, I have my trusty Mega Buster, so I don't have too much to worry about. Well, now I know what all the force beam sound effects are coming from. Well, I need to get back on ground immediately. Okay, earlier I did it the wrong way then. Thankfully we have the charge kick available in order to circumvent the challenge or make it easier. I do appreciate that the designer gave me the access to the NATO, well, specifically all these special weapons, in particular the Shine and NATO and Charge Kick in order to make several of these challenges easier. And we can't forget, of course, the Flash Stopper. Oh, that was definitely a Kaizo trap. Oh, and they also even gave us the Skull Barrier, so these sparks are no longer a problem either. Except I completely flunked the challenge, so I'm just going to jump into the pit over here, when in reality I should have jumped up. Many of the complaints I would have of level design are kind of a sausage because of the fact that, well, these are Kaizo levels. Of course they pull off a lot of jerkish maneuvers. Even then though, I don't really complain about the stage too much. It's not that bad of a Kaizo level, I like it a lot better than the previous one. And for the most part it's more of just a challenge-based level. And this is well, I suppose this is the other way of completing the stage. As usual though, I'm going to download the stage just in case Megaman 2407 actually had something extra added to the stage. And considering their past history with other stages, I think they did. Even though it's called Kaizo Level Normal Update version 2, like I said, it feels more like a challenge level, and I liked it. I liked how we had two options of completing the stage. One is the conventional way by killing off the boss in this enclosed corridor, the other one is to actually go through this dead gauntlet. Which, to be fair, isn't as much of a dead gauntlet as the random stage was. Wow, I expected there to be a few more secrets, but apparently not. It's a relatively straightforward, more challenge-based / Kaizo level, especially with some of the jerkish block placements, but otherwise it's pretty good. I think you can circumvent this challenge if you do a charge kick air kick here. In fact, let me test it out right now. And of course, if you fail the challenge over here, the developer or designer was nice enough to actually give this block over here. So we can walk back in here and walk back out. Yeah, I expected a few more secrets here, but apparently not. Let me see if I can do an air kick here. Or rather, let me do the NATO. Oops, I totally forgot though that there are spikes. Let me see if I can do this right. And of course I choked over there. Let me see if I can do this correctly, as I keep saying over and over. Alright, got it this time. I knew you could do it. If you know what's coming ahead, you can easily circumvent the challenge. Otherwise, I pretty much like this stage. Definitely give it a thumbs up. In fact, did I actually give it a thumbs up? Let me double check. After all, I think I just skipped right past to actually trying out the level itself. No, I didn't. Here's a thumbs up. And here's a crash. Alright then. And instead of getting a Game Maker crash, I got a total app crash hang. Well, that sucks, I suppose. With that game crash out of the way, it's time for the 5th and final level of this part. I've decided that, due to the number of level submissions, to divide this into 2 parts. So the next part directly after this one will be the 3rd edition of viewer level submissions, and also the fact that, well, this part is over 30 minutes long. So Uncharted Territory by JKS8213, and judging by the score, they've improved quite a bit from their previous 4 levels, which I did play before. They were a bit rather simple and kind of superfluous and didn't really take advantage of their special weapon abilities, but this one seems to be taking it quite more, and from what I've heard, it's a more traditional Mega Man style stage. So let's do this and see how it fares up. I think I'll like it quite a bit. Okay, we have the Wily 2 team from Mega Man 2. And we have a whole bunch of abilities, good. I'm gonna damage boost, of course, as always. Okay, a nice start with a Picket Men. A nice way to fight them initially without getting hurt by them. I would have liked if the shield attackers were introduced a little bit better, but I suppose this is a little bit more like a fortress stage. Plus we have all these abilities, so I might as well use them. No sense in wasting them, after all. Okay, we have all these Yamasees, the Picket Men, and shield attackers. Might as well use the Shine to make this much easier. And the Shine does pierce through enemy barriers, which makes it even more useful. Good placement for a checkpoint. I think there should, well, at least there's a scene transition here. Okay, we started out with rocky terrain at the beginning, and now we're in the base. Though the color scheme combined with the background, well, the foreground's color scheme compared with the background's color scheme can make it a little bit hard to see what's going on. I suppose we're forced to use... Never mind. I thought we were forced to use rush jet over here. By the fact that there was a delay in all the Yoko blocks. Okay, thank you for putting a checkpoint here. It's a little bit closer than where I would put it, but it's fine. It's a little bit more generous to the player. Already I'm liking it more than the previous 4 stages JKS made. With the greater selection in special weapons, it makes going to a stage a lot more fun. Not to mention, it's not so superfluous like before, and it's not so much of a cakewalk to go through. Plus, the number of weapon pickups make it so it's not too frustrating to go through. And these Yoko block patterns aren't too frustrating either, they're relatively fair. And quite generous if you were to ask me. The only thing I would mention here is that, well, I would say the checkpoint placement is a little bit more on the generous side, but I'm not complaining. I think you need to use special weapons in order to get across, but I don't mind it. Based off the sound, I think this is more of a fortress stage. That kind of justifies all the decisions with the fact that some of these gimmicks aren't really introduced in safer environments. After all, like I said at the beginning of this part, I'll be treating different types of stages differently. Like I'll treat traditional Mega Man stages differently from fortress-based stages. A little bit of close jump there, so I'll just... Oh, that's the wrong ability. I'll be using NATO here to get across. I don't trust my ability to get across that gap by jumping. Thank you for putting an M-Tank there, it's not really necessary. I would rather place the M-Tank in an optional area or a harder to reach area, so it's more of a challenge. Unless the boss fight is really hard. But otherwise, I really like this stage more so than the previous 4 stages this level designer made. It's definitely an upgrade. Although the one critique I would have is that the background and foreground combination is kind of hard on the eyes. Let's see what his weakness is. Yep, it's the Shine. Specifically contact damage. Well, that was the end of Uncharted Territory. I don't know why it was Uncharted, because we were mostly inside a mountainous base, but I liked it. It's a pretty nice stage, and overall a great improvement over the previous stages. Keep up the good work. I'd like to see more traditional or fortress-based stages from JKS in the future. Well, I suppose this is the end of the second edition of the viewer level submissions. As I just said at the beginning of this level, I will have a third edition just after this part because I have 5 more viewer level submissions to go through. Overall, my favorite level of this part would probably be Assault on the Dreadnought number 1 or Uncharted Territory. Assault on the Dreadnought Part 1 really stands out mainly for the rush jet segment at the beginning, which reminds me of a tougher version of Type QQ's shmup level. It was pretty fun and a little bit tight near the end, although it wasn't too bad, especially due to the fact that, well, you would never get knocked off of a rush jet. If you could get knocked off of a rush jet, it would be a lot more dangerous, or if the enemies dealt a lot more damage. And Uncharted Territory for being a nice and straightforward fortress/traditional styled Mega Man stage, so I liked it. Oh, and also something here, this is actually a nice Easter egg. This is the Japanese title for Mega Maker. From what I've heard, you have a 1% chance of getting it every time you re-enter the title screen. So this is the first time I've seen it, so it's pretty nice. So in the next part, like I said, I'll be covering 5 more viewer submitted levels. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!